Speed relies on visibility. Speed relies on security. Speed relies on teamwork. That's why McLaren F1 relies on Cisco. Because when you're making millions of split-second decisions in real time, speed wins.
Please welcome Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer, Carrie Palin.
All right, y'all, we're going to end with a bang today. Who's a Formula One fan in here? Anyone? Okay, more importantly, who's a McLaren fan in here? Scope Team Papaya. All right, well, it's been an amazing season for McLaren so far. If y'all are tracking it, number 3 in the Constructors' Championship. And Lando won his first Grand Prix, and Oscar was second in Monaco a week and a half ago. So, with no further ado, let me welcome CEO of McLaren Racing, Zak Brown, and my favorite Formula One driver, Oscar Piastri, to the stage. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, so we're going to talk a little tech, but we're also going to do some inside baseball today. I hope you don't mind, but some of the things we can't see on Drive to Survive, if that's all right. Any Drive to Survive fans? Same. All right, well, let's get into it. Amazing season. You guys are crushing it. I don't want to jinx anything, but how are you feeling? Give us a little, what's it like being third in the Constructors and in Monaco? How's it going?
Yeah, it's been good so far. I think, we're a bit happier than we were at this point of the season 12 months ago. I think I saw a stat the other day. At this point last year, we had 17 points in the Constructors, and this year we've got 184, I think it is.
A lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
So
So
we're happy
good.
in third, but we're not as happy as we would be if we were first. So we're still on the way up.
Right on. And Oscar, you've had some of the fastest laps in qualifying this season at several different tracks. So it's been fun to watch. I have no doubt you're going to be on the top of the podium very soon.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the fact that this is an incredibly technology-enabled sport, right? Which is, we love playing a small part in that as a partner with you all. But McLaren now is partnered with Cisco end-to-end. So you started with collaboration, Splunk's observability capabilities. We are now formal partners in the security space, and you have used our networking for quite some time. So Zak, I'll come to you and say, why Cisco? Why do you trust Cisco when milliseconds count on the track to be that partner for you?
Well, first of all, let me start by welcoming everyone. I'm very happy to be here. We've been to DonkConf. Splunk's been a partner for quite some time, and Gary's always been great at hosting us, and I've been asking Chuck for years, and he's like, dude, not till you win. And it was like, all right, so we got that done, so here we are. Thank you very much. Tough crowd. But Cisco and Splunk help us win. You're not a small technology partner, you're a huge technology partner. Let me start before we were partners, because you're a customer of ours, we're a customer of yours, so now we're partners. But our relationship with Cisco dates well prior to our partnership, and that's because we need best in technology. Our technical team, they're really not that interested in the commercial side of the sport. They just want the best technology to go as fast as possible. And with Cisco, you help connect us, you help protect us, because there's a lot of, as been discussed earlier, a lot of bad actors in the world. You help us understand, give us visibility to our data. We're a data-driven sport. and now with Splunk, who's been a partner, so it's now come full circle, help us understand how to be more efficient, more productive, because our world is very much about efficiency drives productivity, because every millisecond counts in our business. So without Cisco, without Splunk, without great technology-first, performance-led partners, we wouldn't be winning races, which we're doing now on a somewhat more regular basis, but we need to do it again, otherwise I might not be invited back next year.
The crowd is tough today.
Hey, you work for him, not me.
Oscar, Zach and I were talking before this. I, for some reason, didn't realize. I knew that you guys averaged around 200 miles an hour on the track, but you can get upwards of 230 miles per hour. And twitch reflexes and everything that you have to be thinking about for, in crazy climates too, by the way. And then also listening to the team chirping in your ear around the track. And for those of you that don't know, a lot of the things that are said to Oscar are actually like deep fake, because you want the other teams to think that you need to come into pit or your tires aren't working or whatever's going on. How do you, when you're going 230 miles an hour and you're having to make sure you don't hit any walls, you making sure everybody around you, how do you then dissect what they're saying to you and know that it's real or not, and processing all of that in milliseconds?
Yeah, I think at those kind of speeds, as weird as this is going to sound, it actually doesn't feel that fast doing 230. And that's normally when you actually want them to speak to you, because when you're in a straight line, you don't have to concentrate that hard. Places like Monaco, where it's probably the lowest top speed of the season, that's where you really don't want them to be talking to you very much. So yeah, we've got a lot going on. You always try to do the best you can, but you talk about it beforehand, where you want the information, what kind of information you need, when you want it, when you don't. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of trickery involved. Depends where you are. If you're a bit further back, you don't have to do much trickery because no one really cares. If you're fighting for a win, then you try your best to try and fake everyone out, and it's worked in the past, but it also goes wrong. So yeah, it's tough. I think at that speed, it really comes down to instinct, and if you're going to choose between trying to maneuver the car or listen to your engineer at that kind of speed, you're probably going to just trust your instinct and do whatever you need to do rather than listen, because you can always ask them to repeat it. You can't really repeat if you crash into a wall.
Got it. And Zach, have you ever given any call that has gone wrong on the track?
On pit wall, I've learned now by learning to let everyone on the team who have a lot more knowledge and looking at data. So you do get into this communication, and it's the heat of the moment. And I have had one time where I thought they were calling Oscar in, and I'm like, "What are you clowns doing?" And they're like, "That was a bogus call. Who's the clown now?" And I'm like, "All right, fair enough." So it is. And I had another incident in Monaco where I thought I was giving a clever communication to the team as I was walking past the Ferrari pit, and they suddenly came on the radio and said, "Zach, yeah, we know it's on television." I was like, "Okay, I'll shut up now." I think we're making split-second decisions, and there's so much data. A Formula One team, we're about 1,200 people, about 150 people at the track.
Yeah.
About 60 people back at Mission Control, 24 races around the world, so you can imagine the intensity of our connectivity and need to be secure and constantly analyzing data. And you need to make sometimes, when I mean split-second decision, I'll kind of bring that to life. We'll know it's 20 seconds, as an example, at a certain track to get our tires prepared, whether we want to be on soft tires, hard tires, medium tires. We'll also know that the entrance to a certain track is 21 seconds. If a safety car comes out 23 seconds, we literally have 2 seconds to make a decision on whether to pit Oscar or Lando.
Yeah.
Then we have a further second to decide what tire do we want. So as you can imagine, in that 2-3 second window, you don't have a lot of time to have a conversation. So you need to know from a communication standpoint exactly who to go to.
Yeah.
And that decision's made, and you're stuck with that decision. And you can see on TV from time to time, cars come in, tires aren't ready, wrong compounds, and you have hundreds of millions of people sitting on their couch going, well, I wouldn't have made that call. You know, that's the fun part. And then in today's social media world, they give you feedback pretty quickly on what they would have done. And they didn't have 2-3 seconds literally to make that call. So that's how much we're dependent upon communications, data, and empowering people within the racing team. Not everything has a chance to come up to the boss.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pivot a little bit because speaking of social media, I hear that Charles Leclerc is now your adopted dad.
Kind of, yes. Just before we walked out, I saw that our McLaren admin, I think Ferrari, just had a test day with Charles and his brother Arthur, who I know as well. And our social media admin have been hard at work and photoshopped me in as the third Leclerc brother. So the joke is still going from Monaco. So
that's awesome.
It was good fun. It was good fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome because the meme on you, which I think is a lot of people may not know this, you have an engineering background, correct?
Yeah, at school. Yeah. I studied a lot of engineering subjects.
Which, from what I've been told, when you joined the team as a rookie last year, your ability to ramp so quickly and read the data and understand what that meant and help them continue to improve the car was sort of unparalleled for a first year in Formula One, which I think is just so cool. So yes, you're funny on social media and all the things, but there's a big brain there that's working on top of your athleticism to make this work. So talk to me a little bit about how you utilize technology to help you when you're racing.
Yeah, I think for the whole team, no less myself and Lando as the drivers, we rely on technology and data massively. Gone are the days of purely driving on instinct and driving on whoever has the biggest balls. It's now about trying to learn as quickly as you can and using the tools that you've got. Our sport is kind of unlike any other where we have such a limited amount of practice. We have 3 test days at the start of the year, and then of course we have the Friday practice sessions and a Saturday practice session, but those are really specific sessions that we're preparing for the weekend. We don't have time to try stuff or, as a driver, try massively different things. So using whatever tools you have, for us, we have sort of real-time data that we look at, or the engineers look at and give us real-time feedback. But then communicating that to us, like I was saying before, you need to have that in the right format and at the right time. So using that to accelerate your learning, and that's what I was trying to do through most of last year, was learn as quickly as I could, is a massive, massive factor. And in between qualifying sessions, you probably see that we have like these screens on top of our car. We're not just watching the session, even though we do have it on one of the TVs. We're looking at usually another driver. Like in my case, I'd be looking at Lando's data compared to mine and seeing who's quicker in which corners, how they did it, and then how I'm going to go out and find that. In the past, you wouldn't have access to that, and now it's a really good way of accelerating both drivers.
It's so cool to hear that use case in real time, right? I mean, it's I think one of the coolest use cases on the planet, and you all move your data center 24 times a year. Your on-track data center, and then you're working with your folks back at corporate at the McLaren Technology Center in Woking, right? So you're taking data all across the globe in like split seconds to come back and advise you as to what's going on the track. That's just, it's kind of mind-boggling to me. But anyhow, okay, I'm going to get into one thing about your family, Oscar, because I had the privilege of being at the Singapore Grand Prix last year and saw your darling grandparents, and like the way they just cared for you and watched the race, and your mom, like y'all have a really cohesive, cool family unit and lots of humor there too. Also, if you follow Oscar on social, you should follow his mom. She's probably even funnier than you are. And I was like, okay, mom goals, like I want to be Nicole Piastri badly. She's a cool lady. But so talk to me about how in this sport, I mean, you're in the public eye all the time. You're 23 years old. There's a lot of pressure on you to be an incredible athlete, a brand ambassador, be in the social media eye nonstop. How does your family play in like grounding you and keeping you focused on the things that matter in your value system?
Well, I actually moved out at 14, so we'll see. But no, it's really nice to have that family support. I've been raised hopefully pretty well. I mean, I won't comment on myself, but I've had a lot of feedback that I'm on the ground for now. So
yes.
No, it's been nice, but in all seriousness, moving away at such a young age, you can't become an F1 driver by staying in Australia. You've got to move to Europe. So that was quite a big decision for myself and my whole family, and they were very, very supportive with that. Being able to watch some of my races through the last few years. COVID was a difficult time where they couldn't watch any of my races, but they've been able to come to a few, and I think for me, they've just built a really good group around me, not just my family, but they all still live in Australia, so finding the right people to help me out when I was in Europe, whether that was kind of management, someone quite literally to drive me to the track and back, physio, sort of that core group around you as a driver. They did a very, very good job of building that network around me when they weren't there. But yeah, they're very, very supportive. Trying to talk to them all the time is difficult with the time difference, so I try and stay in touch as much as I can. I was actually talking to my dad this morning on text, and I think there's probably a few people in the room that he worked with because he used to work at Cisco straight out of uni. And he was saying about 20 years ago he was on the stage talking to all of you here. So a bit of a full circle moment, which is pretty cool.
That is so cool. Yeah, let's go Cisco. So let's get into a quick lightning round and we're going to wrap this up. So a couple quick questions for y'all. Favorite track?
My favorite track is Spa.
Belgium.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got some Spa fans. All right.
Mine's this weekend, Montreal.
Oh, that's my favorite
Love
too.
Montreal.
I love Montreal. So good. Okay, favorite thing to do off the track?
Before I get there, can I ask why Montreal is your favorite?
Because I won in 2008. Thank you for that. That's rehearsed. Actually, he just knows to ask me that question. It was a great race. What was the question? My favorite thing to do off the track is baseball.
Ooh.
Baseball. Cardinals fan.
Yeah. I've seen a couple, I've seen you throw out some pitches at some games, Zach.
It's what I like to do in my spare time. Always been a baseball guy. And golf and ice hockey, but baseball number one. Baseball number one.
For me, I mean, I started racing as a hobby because I really enjoyed it. So I still like driving and sim racing off the track, and then just spending time with my family and friends, really. Because we don't have that much time to do anything else these days with how busy the year is.
That's right. For both of you, if you could invite any athlete or celebrity to join you in the Paddock Club on a race weekend, who would it be?
I would say Michael Jordan.
Oh, cool. MJ, yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Great call.
Mine would be Ayrton Senna, who was three-time Formula One world champion.
Yes.
I never got who won all 3 championships with McLaren. He was my hero growing up. And the second one would be Babe Ruth.
Nice. Nice. That's
as long as I had a drink with him.
And I love the Senna tribute, by the way, in your last race. It was very cool. So well done. Okay, last question is, when drivers, there's a tradition that when drivers win their first Grand Prix, that they usually make some sort of bet or deal with Zach or with the team principal on something they're going to do. You got a tattoo 2 years ago because of Daniel Ricciardo that you weren't really planning on getting. If you want to show that to us, that'd be awesome.
It hurt.
Seen this? He's got one of the tracks on his arm.
Then I showed it to David Beckham, and he was like, dude, that's not a tattoo. And it was like, it hurt. Felt like a tattoo to me.
Yes, it did. So my question is, Oscar, first Grand Prix win, what's the deal you have with Zach?
We actually don't have one yet.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're still got to come up with one.
Okay.
And hopefully we have to come up with it quickly, because I'm planning on winning soon enough.
Right on. Right on. Just one quick request. I'm an Austinite, so if you could do it in Austin this year, I'd be super pumped about that, or sooner.
We can do it soon. I can add Austin to the list.
Yes. All right. Okay, well, this has been so fun to have y'all here. And again, thank you for being such amazing partners with Cisco. We truly appreciate the brand ambassadorship that you bring to our brand and all the amazing work y'all are doing. And we're so excited for the rest of the season for both of you. So go kick some butt and have some fun in Montreal. And a couple announcements around this. We have a couple of things we have a contest for everyone in the room. There will be an official Oscar Piastri full-size helmet from his rookie season signed by Oscar that we are giving away this week. You have to go to the Cisco booth tomorrow and take a photo with yourself and the McLaren car on the floor. And please put the caption, "Racing to see all of #Cisco Live." If you forget that, they'll remind you at the booth. Get that done. We will give away the helmet at 4 p.m. tomorrow at the booth. We'll also have 5 mini helmets signed by Oscar, which are also super cool, easier to stick in your airline bag as well. And last but not least, if you can go to the next slide, we have some limited edition hoodies that will be on the floor today. And the back of that are actually the Cisco Times in the shape of part of the Austin track. So there you have it, some limited edition McLaren Cisco Live hoodies. Go grab yours. And guys, thank you so much. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you.